Jenny would only tell me a couple of things about von Zelle. 1, she managed a small art shop in the West Village. 2, she freelanced as some kind of cult therapist, which I guess meant deprogrammer. I went in, but I didn't see anyone. A sign on the counter read back in 10 minutes. I turned and almost bumped into a sculpture of a giant foot hanging down from the ceiling. Posters, paintings, and drawings decorated the walls. I went to the 3 tall rows of shelves to my left and looked around. It didn't take long to browse the first row, knickknacks mostly. Moving to the second row, I accidentally bumped into a woman. Sorry, miss. Blue eyes, brunette, voluptuous, and cute. Especially with that Betty Page thing she had going on with her hair. I didn't see her behind the shelves. I tried to apologize, but she just stood there glaring at me with those cold blue eyes before moving behind the third row. I then saw some familiar religious figurines. I saw Betty Page glaring at me again. I'm just waiting for the manager to show up.
I reckon that'd be me.
Dee von Zelle?
Yeah. Are you the guy Jenny Tycho sent over to talk to me?
I am. Sorry for the confusion, it's just
that you heard I was an Australian, so you were expecting a tall, skinny blonde with big tits.
I was confused because that sign over there said you'd be back in 10 minutes.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I put that sign up 2 days ago and I'd forgotten all about it.
That's okay. Jenny tells me that you're a deprogrammer.
I prefer the term exit counselor. I've done it for 3 years now. Thank God I haven't had to do deprogramming yet. I hope I never will.
There's a difference?
20 years ago, maybe not. But now it's different. Now, you'd only do deprogramming as a last resort. Like if you suspect the person you're working with is about to commit suicide or kill someone. Otherwise, kidnapping somebody and forcing them to follow your will instead of the cult's does more harm than good in the long run.
So what does an exit counselor do?
Cult members are usually at war with themselves, because their original identity has been buried beneath an artificial one. But the real person surfaces from time to time, and when they do, they want to get out of the cult, and that's when I help them.
These figurines. I've seen them at the mission.
I know. I did them.
Oh. They're very nice.
You reckon? It was just this dodgy thing I put together for the world of love. Actually, I did it for Franklin.
Johnny Franklin?
Yeah. Listen, I don't think anybody else is coming today, and I could do with something to eat. Would you mind talking about this over supper?
We have a table overlooking the square if you like.
Dee?
That'd be fine, thank you.
Can I get you anything?
Water would be nice.
Hello.
You reckon it's a good idea to go down there?
I have to get closer to them. I've got until 5 p.m. tomorrow to bring back the Golden Ganesh. I'm not about to burn any bridges just yet.
Okay.
Here you go. And here's some bread. Are you ready to order?
The spinach lasagna doesn't have any meat in it, right?
No.
I'll have that then.
And you, sir?
I'll have the steak dinner, carrots, and vegetable soup.
All right.
Steak. We obviously don't share the same taste in food.
At least we can share these breadsticks. So, how long were you in the world of love?
Little over 2 years.
Forgive me, but you seem like an intelligent person. You don't suffer fools gladly, I noticed. How could somebody like you get hooked into a cult?
It's a myth that cults target weak-willed individuals. I mean, what's the sense of wasting resources brainwashing someone into a cult when they can just as easily be brainwashed out of the cult? As for intelligence, they look for that too. They rarely hire outside firms to do a lot of the professional work that needs doing, so they have to rely on the talent they have inside the organization, especially if it's a non-religious cult.
Non-religious cult? Isn't that a contradiction in terms?
I suppose, yeah, technically. But the methods have expanded to political and self-help groups, pyramid sales and all that other rubbish. But to answer your previous question, I was the typical target because I was at a dangerous time. I had just started my doctoral work at Columbia, and everything was through the looking glass. Here I am in a foreign country, away from family and friends. Nobody can understand me half the time because of the accent. The customs are sort of weird, and the people are different. Even the money here is confusing. It's all the same size, all the same colour. When your whole life changes that suddenly, you're tempted by anything that offers stability. For them, it's just a matter of applying very sophisticated persuasion techniques to someone who demonstrates even superficial interest.
It's like you said on the way over. They use drugs, sugar diets, repetition, sleep, food or water deprivation, hypnosis, NPL...
NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It has legitimate therapeutic uses, but it's also a way of manipulating someone to visualize what you want them to see in order to do what you want them to do.
So you know NLP too?
We had training in all the techniques. The typical cult member spends the bulk of his or her time recruiting. Lynn, Felicity, Franklin, they're the best lures because they're so sexy. Of course, we were all taught how to be sexy, but they're really good at it. That's why they're the leaders.
So who lured you?
Franklin. I really fell for him. When my student visa expired, we got this dodgy marriage so I could stay here.
How could it be dodgy if you really loved him?
He didn't love me. Once I got into the cult for good, he lost interest. He used to be really attentive and caring, and he made me feel, like, really attractive. The more distant he got, the more desperate I got. I'd have done anything for him.
Did anything include making a provocative figurine of the woman he really loved?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
I have to ask, why do you call your ex-husband by his last name?
I don't think he looks like a Johnny. Besides, I think Franklin's really his first name.
Johnny Franklin's not his real name?
Of course not. It's all tied to stripping away the original identity. Nobody in the world of love has their original name. They used to call me Mary. Do I look like a Mary?
So, nobody in the cult has their original name. I see.
Do you?
Huh?
I saw you black out talking to Felicity over the telephone. You think you're getting them, but I think they're getting you. Considering what they're into, they could use a decent investigator. How much contact have you had with the world of love? All that attention they gave you. It's called love bombing. It happens in all cults. The world of love encourages rampant sex among its members, so its love bombing is sexual in nature. Thanks to Felicity, they're able to engineer a lot of mysterious events, so that their ridiculous beliefs seem legitimate. I'd say after they read your letters to her, they thought you'd be a prime candidate. One thing puzzles me, though.
What?
Your indoctrination has progressed amazingly fast.
I guess I really have no will.
I don't think so. I think they might have developed a new technique since I left. I reckon they must have something new, a machine of some sort that can directly manipulate brain cells. Thanks for dinner and the movie. It was aces.
Pleasure's all mine, Dee.
Good night.
Good night. I guess one of us better leave, huh?
Maybe not. Come here. Give me a hug.
Damn.